Welcome to Truth Report. Tonight, we peel back the layers of global power, exposing the unseen strategies shaping our world and the critical truths hidden beneath the headlines.
From quiet economic warfare to integrity crises in science and the fragility of democracy, we're asking the uncomfortable questions: who truly benefits, who loses, and what are we deliberately not being told by the mainstream media?
Our first investigation takes us into the subtle, yet potent, arena of great power competition. The South China Morning Post recently highlighted a critical insight: the U.S., particularly under its recent administrations, isn't just seeking direct confrontation with China. It's playing a long game, a strategic reshaping of the global economy.
Indeed, Alex. This isn't about conventional battles, it's a Sun Tzu strategy, subduing the enemy without fighting. What many dismiss as policy inconsistency is, in fact, a calculated deception. The aim is to bolster long-term U.S. power, specifically by asserting energy dominance. This reconfigures trade flows and supply chains to America's advantage.
So, who benefits from this chess game? Clearly, U.S. geopolitical influence and its energy sector. By becoming a net energy exporter, the U.S. gains immense leverage over allies and rivals alike. It can dictate terms, influence resource-dependent economies, and project power without firing a single shot, all under the guise of market forces.
And who loses? Primarily China, whose energy security becomes more precarious, forcing them to adapt to a U.S.-centric energy architecture. But also, developing nations, potentially caught in the middle. Their economic development paths could be manipulated or hindered if they don't align with the emerging U.S.-favored energy paradigm.
The mainstream narrative often frames U.S.-China relations as a series of trade disputes or military posturing. What's missed is this underlying, systemic economic warfare. It's a fundamental shift in global economic gravity, driven by energy production and distribution, designed to ensure U.S. hegemony for decades to come.
It's a profound re-engineering of the global supply chain, not through overt tariffs alone, but by subtly altering the very foundation of industrial power, energy. This quiet strategy ensures that future economic growth, especially in manufacturing and advanced technologies, will remain tethered to U.S. influence. It's a truly insidious form of control.
Shifting gears, let's turn to scientific integrity, a pillar of global progress. The South China Morning Post reports 3 senior Chinese scientists have been disciplined, even removed from their posts, following a whistleblower's alarm over their research. One case involved Nankai University's Chen Quan, removed for failing to oversee data quality in a Nature Cancer paper.
This isn't just about individual misconduct, Alex. It raises critical questions about the intense pressure within Chinese academia. Scientists are often incentivized by prestige and funding to publish in high-impact journals, potentially creating an environment where corners are cut or data is manipulated to meet quotas.
Exactly. While the whistleblower and the universities are praised for addressing fraud, we must ask, is this an isolated incident, or a symptom of a larger, systemic issue? Who ultimately benefits from these high-profile exposures? Potentially the overall credibility of Chinese science, if it demonstrates a commitment to self-correction.
But there's a cost. The immediate losers are the scientists involved and their institutions, facing reputational damage. More broadly, if these cases are widespread, it erodes global trust in the authenticity of Chinese scientific output, impacting international collaboration and the pace of global scientific advancement.
What the mainstream often overlooks is the subtle state control inherent in these disciplinary actions. Is this purely about scientific integrity, or is there an element of reasserting party control over autonomous institutions, ensuring that even intellectual output aligns with broader national objectives and image management?
It's a delicate balance. On one hand, enforcing ethical standards is crucial. On the other, the opacity of the Chinese system means we rarely get the full picture. The pressure cooker environment, combined with political oversight, can create incentives that are antithetical to genuine scientific inquiry and transparency.
Our next investigation takes us to Latin America, where Colombia is holding presidential elections, a critical moment for a nation haunted by decades of armed conflict. The Guardian reports a stark choice: an ally of outgoing President Gustavo Petro, seen as continuing his peace policies, against several pro-Trump candidates.
This election is a referendum on Colombia's fragile peace process, signed a decade ago. The term pro-Trump immediately flags potential external influence, aligning with a global trend of right-wing populism. It suggests a move away from progressive peacebuilding towards potentially more militarized or confrontational approaches.
Who benefits from a shift towards these pro-Trump candidates? Likely elements of the traditional conservative elite, potentially the military, and certainly foreign interests that align with a more extractive, less regulated economic model, possibly linked to resource exploitation, especially given Colombia's rich mineral deposits and strategic location.
The clear losers would be the Colombian people, particularly those who have invested in the peace process. Any backpedaling risks reigniting old conflicts, destabilizing communities, and undermining the hard-won gains in social justice and land reform. The peace dividend would evaporate, replaced by renewed violence and uncertainty.
The mainstream media often frames this simply as a domestic political contest. What they often miss are the deeper international currents at play. How much are these pro-Trump candidates genuinely homegrown, and how much are they influenced, funded, or advised by external conservative networks seeking to reshape Latin American politics?
This isn't just about Colombia. It's a microcosm of the global struggle for democratic stability against resurgent authoritarian or populist forces. The push for law and order or strongman leadership, often backed by powerful foreign interests, frequently comes at the expense of human rights, environmental protection, and genuine peace.
Now, let's turn to a pressing public health issue closer to home for the South China Morning Post, Confronting Cancer in Hong Kong. While the summary is brief, the headline itself hints at a systemic challenge within a major global city.
Indeed, Alex. In a developed city like Hong Kong, confronting cancer implies more than just individual battles. It speaks to the adequacy of the public health system, access to advanced treatments, and potential environmental factors contributing to incidence rates. Who benefits when a healthcare system is strained? Private medical groups and pharmaceutical companies, often stepping in where public services fall short, at a premium.
The losers are, invariably, the public, especially the working class and elderly, who may face prohibitive costs or long wait times for critical diagnostics and treatments. Are we seeing a widening gap in healthcare equity, where quality care becomes a luxury rather than a universal right?
Absolutely. What the surface-level news might not reveal is the underlying strain on public resources, potentially exacerbated by shifting government priorities post-2019 political changes. Has the focus on political stability overshadowed critical investments in public health infrastructure and long-term preventative care?
We must scrutinize if environmental degradation, due to unchecked industrial practices or lax regulations, is contributing to rising cancer rates in Hong Kong. Is the true cost of rapid development and economic priorities being paid in public health outcomes? These are the uncomfortable questions mainstream reporting often sidesteps.
And beyond funding, what about the brain drain in the medical sector? If political climate or working conditions deter top talent, the capacity to effectively confront cancer is severely diminished. This isn't just about money, it's about the holistic resilience of a city's social and medical fabric, eroding silently.
Finally, let's head to Nigeria, Africa's most populous nation, where the upcoming January elections reveal a deeply fragmented opposition. The South China Morning Post reports Peter Obi will run, ensuring the opposition remains divided against incumbent Bola Tinubu.
This division is a classic scenario favoring the incumbent. When opposition votes are split, it paves an easier path for entrenched power. This isn't just about personality clashes, it raises questions about the maturity of Nigeria's democratic institutions and whether the system itself incentivizes fragmentation.
Who benefits from this political disarray? Clearly, President Tinubu and his party, able to consolidate power with a weaker challenge. But also, potentially, corrupt networks that thrive in less accountable, less competitive political environments. The status quo remains, enriching a select few.
And who loses? The Nigerian people, particularly those yearning for genuine change and accountability. Obi's pledges, tackling insecurity, improving health and education, ring hollow if the fragmented opposition cannot effectively challenge the incumbent and translate these promises into policy.
What the international media often misses is the deep-seated impact of money in Nigerian politics, and the potential for manipulation or coercion that keeps opposition movements from truly uniting. Is the fragmentation a natural outcome, or a manufactured one, designed to maintain a powerful political class?
It's a classic divide-and-conquer strategy, whether intentional or not. This political landscape stifles genuine policy debate, limits voter choice, and ultimately undermines democratic consolidation in a nation pivotal for Africa's future. The struggle for a truly unified and effective opposition continues to be Nigeria's greatest democratic hurdle.
These stories, from global power plays to local health crises, expose the insidious threads of hidden influence and systemic challenges that impact us all.
We urge you to look beyond the headlines. Demand transparency from your leaders, question the narratives presented, and support independent journalism that dares to uncover the truth, because the truth, no matter how uncomfortable, is our most powerful weapon.